Good evening. Please turn off all cell phones. Welcome to the May 17th, 2023 regular meeting at Eureka Springs Historic District Commission. I'm the Bright Chair. Commissioners present tonight are Maggie Hay, Judy Holden, Peter Graham, Christine Santamore. Kelly Cole Ladwick is absent with notice. We have a quorum for business. The Eureka Springs Historic District Commission is empowered by the Eureka Springs Municipal Code to issue a certificate of appropriateness for alterations of exterior architectural features, demolition, and new construction within the boundaries of Eureka Springs Historic District. The HDC uses Eureka Springs Historic District guidelines and the U.S. Department of Interior standards for the rehabilitation of historic buildings as the basis for our decision. The Commission can take the following actions on an application: approval with modifications, denial, or deferral for more information. Appeal of denial may be made to the Circuit Court. Public comments will be heard on each agenda item as it is called. Other public comments will be heard during the public comment period. Are there any changes or additions to tonight's agenda?
I have one. The minutes for the April 19th meeting are not ready. If we can postpone that to the next meeting.
Okay, under Commissioner Business number 1, guys. Okay, any other changes? Do I have a motion to accept the agenda as changed?
I so move to accept the agenda. Second.
Judy made the motion. Christine seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Approval of the applications do not excuse applicants, owner, or agent from compliance with any other applicable codes or ordinances or policies of the City of Eureka Springs. And, we could change that, okay. So on tonight's agenda, we have no old business. New business, we have a level 2, 51 copper, install artistic fencing, Phillips owner. Level 2, 29 South Main, replace existing awning balcony, install 2 second-floor railings, install new second-floor window awnings, Kletcha owner. Level 3, 8 Angus, new residential construction, Ray owner. Level 3, 10 Angus, new residential construction, Ray owner. Okay. Do we have anybody here for 51 Copper? Would you come up to the mic and state your name and address, please?
Abraham Phillips, 51 Copper Street, Eureka Springs.
This is to remove weathered lattice fencing, install metal artistic fence. Kyle?
Yes. Owners of 51 Copper are looking to remove the weathered lattice fencing, install the metal artistic fence. Date of construction for this property is between 1949 and 1953. It is a non-contributing structure to the historic district. Description of proposed work: the applicant is seeking a certificate of appropriateness for the following items: remove weathered wood lattice trellis fencing from the north side of the yard and replace approximately with 120 linear feet with artistic antique metal bed frame fencing along the north and west side of the yard. Varying height, approximately 30 to 54 inches tall. It will be a non-permanent installation. In evaluating the request for the alterations at 51 Copper, staff makes the following findings of fact. The property at 51 Copper is non-contributing structure in the historic district. Past alterations of this property have significantly changed the form, style, and materials of the original structure. The project proposal is non-permanent and can fit into the character of the property. Proposed alterations align with standards and guidelines, and staff does recommend approval of this agenda item.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I move that the Historic District Commission issue a certificate of appropriateness for the work at 51 Copper as proposed.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Judy made the motion, Peter seconded. Do we have discussion? Any questions for the owner? Nothing? Okay. Say aye if you're in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
and nay if you're opposed. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you.
Thank
He'll give
you.
you your paper.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. "29 South Main, remove deteriorated awning and replace with similar design and materials, install second floor railings, install second floor window awnings." Do you want to come and state your name, please?
Sure, let me bring my desk.
Do you want to sit at the end of the table over there, Mike?
What's that?
I said, do you want to sit at the end of the table?
You guys had opportunity to look at the,
State your name and address for me first.
this is the one and only No Baloney, Mike Kletcha, Judge Roy Beans and Rock House Suites at 29 South Main Street.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then Kyle's going to give you facts.
Project description at 29 South Main. Property owners looking to remove deteriorated awning and replace with similar design and materials, install second floor railings, and install second floor window awnings. Property at 29 South Main, highly visible 20th century standard commercial stone block building, seeking a certificate of appropriateness for the following items. Remove the existing awning, replace the new awning that will be load bearing and allow for a second floor balcony access with new stone piers, new posts, new lattice beam, new 3/4 inch tongue and groove decking covered with a roof membrane, and new second floor railings built to code. Also looking to install new second floor window and door denim cloth awnings.
Okay.
In evaluating the request for the alterations at 29 South Main, staff makes the following findings of fact. The building is a contributing structure in the historic district. Historic evidence shows that the second floor balcony was an accessible outdoor space at one time. The proposed replacement design matches in style, form, and mass. Fabric awnings can be an appropriate addition to commercial downtown structures. Some of us were here in 2001. He came to us with a concept design.
2021?
21, thank you. Came to us with a concept design, looking to do a hard awning on that second floor. The commission leaned more towards approving the cloth awning, seemed more appropriate. One thing that I would encourage the commission to look at is how much of the original iron will be retained. That is one thing that's mentioned in the guidelines, that we try and retain as much of that as possible. Proposed alterations can align with the standards and guidelines. Staff recommends maybe a partial approval of this agenda item.
Do I have a motion for discussion?
I move that the Historic District Commission issue a certificate of appropriateness for their work of 29 South Main as proposed. As proposed.
Do I have a second? Okay. Okay.
Can I interject?
Yes, you may talk now, Mike. We've done all our business.
I'll let you guys look at this. This is Duradeck. It comes from Canada. Superior roofing. I'm not sure what was on this roof back in 1900, but we know what's on it now. You guys had a chance to look at the photographs I presented?
Yes.
They're the number sequence, not the alpha. Basically, this here is, no one's really taking good care of this roof in terms of maintaining it. I'm sorry, I'm not talking into the microphone. Can you hear me now, everybody? Yeah? Okay, sorry about that. I'm just establishing how degraded the building is. We got stuff falling on people, and, you know, it's not cool. I propose to build a better deck, hopefully it lasts 200 years. But the Duradeck that you see there is superior roofing to that asphalt stuff. That asphalt's got seams every 3 feet. And if you notice some of the decking photographs, look at them yourself. If you look at some of the decking photographs, I tried to keep, yes?
When did you redo, you had, I don't know if it's at Susan's
The what?
baby shower. I walked out, you know, you had some of us walk out on that, and I don't know how many years ago that was, and it was scary then. I went back in.
You don't want to get up there now.
No.
I got to put a sign up there, do not enter the roof.
Yeah.
It's unsafe surface.
Yeah, this
And
part
unfortunately,
was
we got
bad.
idiots out there. They're born every day. But anyhow, getting back to the crux of the matter here, Kyle and myself, we looked at the folder on this. The last time someone did anything was 1999. And I'm sure they put on their cob job specialist hat because it's pretty bad, whatever they did to repair it. It just, they got up there and threw some, I'm not even sure if that was approved. Was it approved there, Kyle? I don't remember if we justified that, whatever they had done before.
Yeah, I think that was approved before, yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, I've been repairing the roof, and it got to a point of why. There's nothing I can save on it now. So there's superior material that can be used. You know, the TNG, which is, we can get it at Meeks, 3/4 inch. I can go 1 1/4. The thing that concerns me is timing on doing this, and that's not to obstruct. That is a hot corner, and I would like to get, you know, approval. And once I do, I actually have to find someone to do the dang work. It's hard to find people not to work, to find quality people to work. And that's what I'm all about, it's quality. And I got Bill Hathaway on board for doing the engineering. He's got a grand idea to, you know, the poles that hold the deck up, or you can see through them in certain areas. The bottoms of the photographs are degraded. I actually have glossy photos if you guys need to see glossy photos.
That's all tacky.
Here, look at some color. This here is a better representation.
Sir, I have a question. On this one right here with the pillars, is this decorative design going to still be present? The lattice.
Well, we're trying to figure out on this lattice.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Mike, you have to be at the,
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, very good.
it's for recording. You have to be
Oh, recording?
recorded, so you have to be at the mic.
Can you? Okay, cool. The lattice in areas are rusted, okay, and the thickness of the metal has been reduced. When professional people put their stamp on it, such as the engineer, it has to meet structural integrity. Yeah, I guess you all know what's happened in Kansas City years ago when people were dancing New Year's Eve and the bridge, or was it a staircase or something, went down. They all hit the right amplitude, which is what we call in engineering destructive amplitude, and down comes. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, the Narrows Bridge in Tacoma, it came down. But the thing is, we get 20, 30, 40 people up there. If something happens, people like to get Sue happy, okay?
We're
And I'm
asking
just.
about the railings, though, sir.
Say again?
We're asking about he
The
was asking
lattice.
about something totally different. Yes.
Okay, are there holes in these poles, or is that just the metal coming off?
Well, this design project is quite a feat because we don't want to slow down traffic downtown. We have to make it safe for the people underneath where we're working.
Mike,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
metal poles.
Yeah,
The
that's
question is, are there holes going through this? Is this what you were saying there was holes in? You got to go to the mic. Well, it looks like metal coming off, or I don't know. And then
Yeah,
pass it around so everybody can
Those
see.
metal poles are 120 years old. It's rolled steel, probably 1020, 1040 steel, and they roll it. And it's got a seam on it. Water gets into that seam, and then it degradates. Also, at the base of all those posts where you have concrete, well, inside that concrete, it's also rusted. You can't see it, but if you can peel it back a little bit, you'll see it, water gathers there between the pole and the concrete.
So what's the,
Still didn't answer his question, sir.
so my question is, the poles are going to be replaced, correct? What's the material
There's
that you're going to
one
replace
pole
them
there
with?
by a two-dumb dames. Apparently someone backed into that, and they got replaced years ago. But unfortunately, underneath it, we don't know what's underneath it. There's no pier. You're only as good as your foundation. We'll have to take and move the pole over, put a pier, and then put the pole back. The other ones probably need to all be replaced. There's one of them, I don't know if you've seen where the funnel cake is. There's our funnel cake photo. I'm not sure if I included one.
No,
But it's going through the deck. Or actually, it's going through the building. So we'll have to put another pole just outside that. That's a 21-foot span, which is a big load for a live load. Basically, that beam was set up it's not set up for a live load to take, a safety factor of 3, which the engineers like to go by. I think he's got a safety factor 3. We got to put more steel in there. We got to, basically, whenever you widen the modulus or the cross-section of a beam, you increase the strength substantially. That lattice beams like this, we're going to have to add steel somewhere, and or probably a glue lam to go on the front of that, where you see the rim joist with the two dark blue stripes along the top of the woodwork above the lattice beam. That's rotten out too. And what it was, I'm not sure what they did because it's not in the report, but it looks like they scabbed on some plywood, and a glue lam 6 inches wide, going to last a long time. So we have to put that on top. Basically, the awning has got too much of a pitch, but we can raise it up and straighten it out to meet international code, and that's what the building inspector goes by. It's basically a 1/4 inch max fall per foot. So we got like an 8 foot, we're like 4.5, 5 inches fall on that roof right now, which is good to let the rain go, but in our situation, we're going to have to do something to the beam, either replace it, and doing a curvature on that beam is going to be a real pain. But there's ways to do that. And either that, we put plate steel on the inside of it and leave whatever's there, but it's to get someone to sign off on it, like the engineer or something. They might have some, it might be questionable for him to sign off on it.
Have you had an engineering study on any of them?
Bill Hathaway,
And
There-
on your drawing here, the new rendering, I notice I assume it's the cross, all that metal that's
Ironwork.
X's all the way around?
They
Are
call
you
that
keeping on-
lattice. They call that
Okay.
lattice beam.
Yes.
And what's above that is 2 sandwich. They take in 3/4 inch. I assume it's exterior grade. 3/4-inch CDX plywood, and they sandwich it together and use that for a rim joist. So they did something to lift up that roof, and either that or just scabbed onto it and then threw a paint and had a little pinstripe on it, whatever that blue thing does for you.
So do
That
you
blue-
plan on keeping that lattice when you put the other back, or are you putting new?
It's proposed to go ahead and replace it and increase the cross-section to sustain a live load. Okay, basically, we have to do lattice, but instead of this, I think it's 10 inches? Basically, it's 2 or 4 angle irons with, the lattice cross-section in there. You need to widen that cross-section a bit to take the live load.
Are you
And-
leaving the lattice the same?
No,
as
the lattice is proposed to bring down.
He wants to take it
Remove it.
down.
You
Yeah,
want it
parts of it are already gone. Underneath the steps there, what there is there, I think they take two C channels 6 inches wide, and they put one on top, and they welded it, and they cut out all the bad. So there's part of that don't even have lattice on it.
So I have 3 questions just in total. So I understand what you're saying about the structure integrity of the building with the pillars potentially having to be replaced. I see in the picture that there's rust. So if they were to be replaced, like you said, they will based off the engineer's proposal. Are they going to be metal
Absolutely.
pillars, the same?
Well, the 2 things would be 2 beams. One's you're going to have a lattice, basically post. You're going to have a new piers poured. Put your post on it. Now you got something to start with. And you go up and put your lattice beam up there. And it needs to be a little taller cross section to take the live load. Then on top of that, we're going to go with the glue lam, which is, I think it's 1x4 or 1x6. What does the plan say? I'm not sure. But whatever it is, a glue lam is basically sandwiched pieces of 2x4 or 2x6. I think it's 14 inches tall. And we stick that on top so we can do our joist system to connect back to the building.
And then, so that was my first question. So the posts will be replaced with the same metal material. And then, so I noticed that at the base of each post, there's stonework.
That's what I would like to put down.
You will, okay.
Because it's right next door. But my thing is to do a little different because I'm different. Is to actually do more like a pyramid cut on top and see inside that box you see there, underneath all that, you can't see it, but it's rusting under there. Water gets in. They should have used high-performance caulk around the pole and keep the water out. They didn't, but that's what happened to all these posts with concrete. Water gets in, it's porous, and the water just sits there, and then it rusts with age. So underneath that, we don't know what we got till we take it apart.
Definitely. And I do believe that when renovations or new construction is built, it needs to be built with the proper material. I'm just referring to the historical guidelines appearance of the stone.
Sure.
Like, is it gonna, because in the Hollifield engineering paper that's presented, it shows it looks like at the base of the pillars, it looks like it's resembling more brick rather than stone. Is it gonna be brick?
Well, I'm not sure. Does it look like stone? It'd be limestone.
It'll be limestone.
Absolutely, limestone.
And then because that's why we asked about the gables.
Well,
because
the cap is what I'd like to do is more of a pyramid shape.
definitely, I understand.
Yeah.
Yep.
2
And-
things that keeps the drinks from sitting there, and people don't leave their trash, and also keep it in better
Definitely.
shape.
And then with the engineering picture, the reason why we're asking about the lattice is because in the new engineering proposal, it shows the lattice with the new guardrails, and that's why we're just clarifying
yeah.
to make sure that it's going to stay with that design pattern because it is a beautiful architectural
It's all
design.
part of the system that he put together, the engineer. So we got to actually attach to something. And we're not sure what we got with the old lattice. It's 120 some odd years old.
That makes
23
sense. But I was just asking if the lattice would be replaced a similar design pattern
Absolutely.
based off of. Okay,
It's just going to be a
that's just
higher.
what we have to
It's going to be a
ask
higher
because
cross
of-
section instead of a lower cross section to help with the load requirements.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. Well, this building is in pretty good shape on the inside. This is the last piece of the puzzle, to fix that building, get it right. I'm just trying to do, and actually, it's a hot corner. There's some other issues here with utility lines. I've been working about 3 years to get that pole moved over. Swepco finally moved it over. Actually, AT&T owned the pole. My deck was holding up their pole. So don't make sense, but it does. But we got it moved over. We'd actually like to see the utilities company come in here with fiber optics and get rid of this big black line out there. It's nothing but copper in there. It's way heavy. They cannot extend it out because it's too heavy. If they come with fiber optics, I can pull. Actually, everyone between me and going up towards the trolley, they can actually put people on the deck if they could take and just move those utility lines. The power lines are moved over and out of the way. No worries there. I'm not sure what it takes an act of Congress to get fiber optics in this downtown area, but back years ago when they did this street out, you guys remember that when they did the streets?
So that's a little irrelevant to this, sir.
I understand. Well, I'm not sure why they didn't.
Way before our times.
Yep.
Well, they should have put it underground, so would have looked a lot prettier.
Okay, does anybody else have questions, discussion?
And, I work in conjunction with the building inspector, and, I don't go and do anything until we get his thumbs up on this. So I've always worked with the buildings inspector every time I ever did anything on the building. So I just want to do it right the first time,
Okay.
and don't have to come back and fix things.
Okay, Maggie made the motion, Christine seconded. No other discussion. All those in favor say aye.
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 I didn't hear everybody. Should I do a roll call?
Yeah, let's do a roll call,
Okay,
please.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
Peter,
good.
Aye.
give me time to write. Maggie,
Aye.
Christine,
Aye.
Judy.
No.
Motion failed. We have 3 ayes, 1 no. 3-1. Okay. Do you want to discuss now? What do you want? Since you voted no, what would you like him to do? So for compromise here.
Historically wise, I agree with following exactly code, what you're doing, and I really appreciate you upkeeping and making it, but I would like to know for a fact that the base is going to stay historically looking the same. On the pictures, the designer drew it like it was bricks.
Well, it's going to be stone.
Okay. And
It'd be limestone.
yeah, because on these, not this picture.
It's basically the drawings software they've got. He probably put in brick or whatever, but it will be limestone. If you want to
Oh, yeah, on the very,
make that correction.
on the very last page,
Oh,
it does
different.
state, when they point down at the base of the post, it says new stone base match existing. So it has to match existing based off of the proposal. So it will be limestone bases
Yeah,
based off of the
limestone.
proposal.
Okay.
Can I jump in here?
Yes.
So I think we're really close to what he's trying to do.
Absolutely.
I would like to meet with the contractor once you get one lined up.
I'll try my best.
And I would like to make a plan with him and come and present that back to, just so that we're clear on what's being replaced, what's being retained,
Yes.
if that works.
Well, that's awesome, yeah.
And then
And with the awnings also.
with the awnings, okay, all right.
My intent is to try to do this in November when things are slow or slower.
Oh, okay.
And I want to be.
So you're not going to do it right
No,
before, okay.
I'm going to have the summer of Mikey here, so what the hey.
Okay, and these are yours. We do have colored ones over here.
We have a set here.
Well, we have a set. Do you need 2 sets, Kyle?
I'll just hold on to those
Okay.
if you don't need them. And then, yeah, that's okay. And then, yeah, let's talk some more. We'll get something set.
Michael,
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Michael, I just want to say thank
Oh.
you so much. And you did state it is a very pronounced corner. It's a very important
telling
corner
me.
of Eureka
And I
Spring.
pay
And
dearly for it, too.
definitely, and that's why we just want to make
want
sure
me
that
to sign this,
it's
Brian?
in line with how beautiful Eureka is, and just to keep
Well,
it up.
absolutely, and I did talk with the police chief, dealing with traffic issues. And we have a tunnel was proposed to put underneath so people can walk, okay? They're going to work off the deck in there, and we'll be safe off the deck and not be obtrusive. It's going to be slow anyways, so hopefully we get some paint done on
Okay.
that buttress up there or that cornice up there. I don't know how to
Yeah.
get to it, but
Because it's a prime location and one of the first things you see in town, so I'm with you. We want to get it done right.
well, I don't
Yeah.
fool around. Ask my ex-wife, she'll tell you.
Okay,
Thank you for your
Mike.
patience on this matter.
So I got a PDF, if you want them back.
Well, yeah, unless you need to keep them.
No?
Why don't you hang on until tomorrow?
Okay, all right,
Okay, cool.
all right, yeah.
All right, so what time do you want to meet tomorrow?
Do you want to just stop by like at 9?
9 o'clock.
Yeah, does that work?
I think I can make it.
We can make it 10. We can make it 10. Okay, all right.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Now we have 8 Angus, new construction of a house with walkout basement.
And I do have public comment for this.
Okay. Do you want me to read that before? Well, go ahead and come up and state your name and address.
Tom Ray, 50 Wall Street.
Debbie Ray, 50 Wall Street.
Do you want me to do the staff report first?
Yeah, do the staff report first.
Owners at 8 Angus are looking for a certificate of appropriateness to do new construction on a residential house with a walkout basement. The neighborhood was developed approximately 2016. The proposal is for a building with approximately 700 square foot footprint. In evaluating the request for the new construction at 8 Angus, staff makes the following findings of fact. The lot is located in a contemporary residential zone, R2 zone within the historic district. The property has received variances in lot size and building density requirements from the planning department, and the building official has reviewed preliminary architectural plans and sees no issues in building code requirements. Proposed new construction aligns with standards and guidelines. Staff recommends approval of this agenda item.
Do I have a motion for discussion?
I move that the Historic District Commission issue a certificate of appropriateness for the work at 8 Angus as proposed.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion, questions. You said you have letters?
I have one. Dear Mr. Palmer, we are writing to you in regards to the most recent letter we received from the Rays concerning their application for construction approval on both 8 and 10 Angus Street. No plans were enclosed in the letter we received, but you were very accommodating in providing us the link to review those plans via the HDC packet. Upon reviewing both applications and plans submitted, we see no issues with the request made for 10 Angus Street. However, we do have some concern in regards to the plans submitted for 8 Angus Street. In the application, they are requesting approval to build a 700 square foot single-family home with a walkout basement. Though we have no issues with this request, upon reviewing the exterior plans submitted, our concerns is the home does not appear to be a single-family home, but is more in line with two-story duplex with one identical unit and one below. We did reach out to you, and you were very helpful in answering our questions, and we are very grateful for that. But we are quite perplexed that if the lower level was merely to be an unfinished walkout basement, why then was it designed to exactly match the living space above? Many of our homes on Angus do have crawl spaces with exterior access, which are used for storage, but none of them are quite as elaborate as what they have proposed for 8 Angus. We are aware that the Rays were quite disappointed in their previous requests to replace multifamily homes on the lot were denied. We would hope that the Rays would adhere to what was initially approved by the Commission, one single-family home, but feel strongly that we must raise our concerns that the submitted plans will be eventually made into a duplex. We ask the Commission to please take these concerns into consideration when making the decision to approve or deny construction on 8 Angus Street. We request our statement be read aloud at the public meeting on May 17th and request that our comments be entered into the minutes. Thank you for time and consideration in this matter. Sincerely, Jeremiah and James Rutherford, 6 Angus, Eureka Springs.
Okay. Any other questions?
I do also have one more public comment.
Okay.
That's here.
Come up to the mic and State your name and address, and then your public comment, please.
Sharon Roberts, I live at 2 Angus Street. The developers of Lot 8 Angus Street have been denied the construction of a 2-family long-term rental twice by the Board of Zoning and Adjustment. The third application, requesting a single-family home for a long-term rental, was approved, and the single-family home is in character with the neighborhood. Your packet that I saw has certain page numbers. I don't know if this matches, but on page 47, it shows a color picture of Concept Homes Design, CH468, a single-story home. However, the architectural drawing shows a modified version, CH468 V12, and that might be shown on pages 48 through 51. That shows a 2-story duplex home. The floor plans, which Kyle may still have, and are viewable online, show the exact same floor plan for the first and second story. This indicates a 2-family duplex home. I understand the developers explain the first story as an unfinished basement. However, the windows and doors are an exact match on each level, and the floor plan does not indicate an interior staircase. Additionally, a basement, by definition, is partially or completely underground. In reality, this unfinished basement is an unfinished second unit of the duplex home. I ask the Commission to defer the application for Lot 8 Angus until such time as the floor plan and utility stub-in plan for each level are submitted and clarity is provided regarding the construction as a single-family home and cannot be modified from this single-family home. Thank you for your work on this commission, and my thanks to Kyle for his professionalism and clear, timely communication.
Yeah, come back up so we can ask questions.
Is that something that they can address, the note
Yes.
and the public comment made by the other resident in your neighborhood?
So let me just jump in on that. So some of this is speculation. The plans that were submitted do show an unfinished basement. I did meet with the applicants. They were able to confirm that for me. It was my mistake in the back and forth between planning. One of the designs that they had submitted to me did show a possible second apartment, but that is not the application, or that's not the final plan that they submitted in their application.
Because just based off of the floor plans that they give us in our packet, it shows that it is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. So are we voting to approve a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, single resident home, or are we?
No, so we're
is 8
just
Angus
looking.
gonna be?
Yeah, we're looking at aesthetics, how it fits in the character of the neighborhood, the materials that are being used, its size, its form.
Design concept.
Yeah, design concept.
Does it fit in the neighborhood? And design concept is what HDC does.
And the neighborhood development was about 2016, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And zoning and planning has approved this?
Yes.
Okay.
So once it leaves our table, if we approve design, whatever we do here, then it's all the building inspector. If things go awry, it's into the building inspector.
So in our historic guideline, on page 181 and 182, it states that the designed residential new construction to maintain the scale, mass, and form of the historic homes on the block to ensure consistency and compatibility. And so that's why I stated that 2016, rather than it being like 1890s, 1910 style, Queen Anne's or cookie cutter style. And then stated on 182, it states new construction should use materials that are appropriate to the architectural style of the building or commercial buildings and compatible within the neighboring block. Use historic or compatible materials. See Chapter 3 for guidance.
And this is a new neighborhood. Any other questions for the Rays? Anybody else for public comments on this subject?
Would you like to say anything about,
Well, just for your information, if you, I don't know if you have all the pictures that we submitted, but you can see some of the neighboring houses. I think that the plans that we picked out match quite well, and it's going to be a really nice looking, the end of that street, it's going to make it look really nice.
Yes, definitely, and that's why I stated the neighboring houses. I've actually driven by and walked that street and noticed that the architectural style of those buildings are roughly 2016, new, modern, kind of mountain vibe, because you got the pines in that neighborhood and such, so.
We
Thank you.
have some colored ones, Peter, we're going to pass. It'll be easier for us to see.
Is the intention for 8 Angus to be a single-family dwelling?
At this time, yes, it's just going to be a single-family dwelling.
Okay. And that, Kyle, that wouldn't come before our board if they were to seek approval for multifamily dwelling? That's not us, correct?
So that's a conversation I would have to have with the city attorney to determine what went through planning and then what future development plans are with building official, code enforcement, stuff like that.
And as you stated, we're strictly looking at the appearance of
Yeah.
the structure
Design
in
and does it
relation
fit
to
in
the
the
neighborhood.
neighborhood?
Yeah.
It's only our authority. I want to give Peter time to see the colored one also.
can you give Peter the colored one?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
I've reviewed this all.
So you saw it on color?
I've reviewed this
Okay,
for a
I'm
couple
sorry.
days now. No worries, it's okay.
I just wanted to be sure everybody saw it in color. Are there any other questions of the Ray on 8 Angus? Okay. Judy made the motion. Peter seconded. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say nay. Did you vote, Peter?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I heard 4 ayes.
Yes.
Okay. 4-0, motion passes. You guys might as well just stay standing.
Thank you very much.
Our next one is 10 Angus, new construction of a house with walkout basement. Kyle, Roy, state your name and address again, just to be on the safe side.
Tom Ray, 50 Wall Street.
Debbie Ray, 50 Wall Street.
Applicants at 10 Angus are looking for a certificate of appropriateness for new construction, house with a walkout basement. Neighborhood was developed approximately 2016. Owners are looking to build a new single-family home on this property, approximately 1,076 square foot footprint with a walkout basement. In evaluating the request of the new construction at 10 Angus, staff makes the following findings of fact. The lot is located in a contemporary residential R2 zone within the historic district. The property has received variances in lot size and building density requirements from the planning department. The building official has reviewed preliminary architectural plans and sees no issue in building code requirements. Proposed new construction does align with design guidelines and standards. Staff recommends approval of this agenda item.
Do I have a motion?
I move that the Historic District Commission issue a certificate of appropriateness for the work at 10 Angus as proposed.
I second.
Discussion or questions for the Rays? All in favor say aye. Oh, Judy made the motion, Christine seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed say nay. Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank
You're welcome.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, consent agenda. Level 1 and 2 projects that the city preservation officer believes to be in accordance with the design guidelines. Any commissioner or member of the public may move any consent agenda item to the regular agenda for discussion. Level 2, 14 Cliff, install 3 receptacle awnings. Retractable, I'm sorry. Our lighting's not the best.
Sorry, my glasses aren't even working.
I know. Melsheimer? Sorry if I mispronounced that, owner. Did everyone see the packet and sign that?
Yes.
Do I have a motion?
I so move to accept the installation of 3 retractable awnings at 14 Cliff.
Second.
Judy made the motion. Maggie seconded. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, say no. Motion carries 4-0. Administrative approvals by city historic preservation officers or minor impact projects include ordinary maintenance that does not involve a change in materials, new and replacement signs, alterations to non-contributing and/or non-historic structures, excluding major additions or demolition, medium impact projects that meet design guidelines. And we have 10 of these. They are all on the website if you want to go on and read everything. But Kyle has already given administrative approval on all of this. Commissioner business. We've postponed the minutes from April 19th because we don't have those. Next meeting will be June 7th, 2023. Level 3 applications are due Thursday, May 25th. Level 2 applications will be due Wednesday, May 31st. Agenda setting for June 7th meeting. Anybody have anything you want to put on? Okay, public comments? No
Are we
one's
going to
up.
have a follow-up on 29 South Main? Is that something that's going to be moved to the next meeting, or is that something that doesn't come before us?
So what I will do is I will meet with him tomorrow, go over stuff that we talked about today. I do want to get with whatever contractor he ends up hiring, just to make sure preservation standards, we're all on the same page. And so, yeah, once we're ready for that, we'll just put in another application.
Sounds good. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, we'll just bring it back at further, in the future, but let Kyle get kind of get the ducks in the row and then come back to us and hopefully then,
It's a very complicated process.
yeah,
Yes.
those are all mine.
Besides Michael's version of it.
Sorry. Oh, that's okay. Commissioner comments. Peter?
No comments today. Thank you.
Maggie?
Curious as to how your May 5th.
Oh, yes. It was an amazing meeting down. Are you talking about that at Fort Smith?
Yes.
Oh, it was a lot to learn. There was liability. There was a lawyer there that came away from Georgia and North Carolina that spoke to us about how
Ramona.
to. Sorry.
Kyle told me Ramona was there.
Yes,
So you
yes.
had- yeah, I've
and,
heard her.
And we learned a lot. It was a wonderful day, and met a good amount of people from all around Arkansas. So,
You have any advice?
that
I
you
would say
learned?
definitely continuing as Historic District Commission to work with the community through education purposes. I think that's like the biggest part that I'm trying to learn through this whole process, is that if we all work as a unit, the goal is to like achieve as a community as a together as one, and stating what guidelines are there, not based off of opinion, but based off of the preservation of a historic town, and that's why it's an attraction, is because of the ability to keep it authentic and unique. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
And Kelly got to go also, but she's out of town tonight, so great. And Kyle went. Glad you guys got to go. And that's what you wanted to
That's
know,
what I wanted to
a
ask.
report from that. Good. Christine?
Nothing.
Judy?
No comment tonight, thanks.
I don't think I have any comments, but I do have, we want to talk about, you sent us a email about Joplin.
Yes. Is it my comments?
It's, yeah, if you want to put that in
Yeah,
your
I'll put that in
comments?
my
Okay, I
comments.
just didn't want to leave the table without,
Yeah, so I got the email today from AHPP. Missouri Preservation has invited Arkansas to attend their preservation conference, which will be from June 7th through the 9th in Joplin. Online registration closes this Friday, so it's kind of short notice.
Yes.
But I looked at the schedule. There's some really interesting topics that they're going to be discussing, I think would be very beneficial. If
June
that's-
7th is our HDC meeting.
That was going to be my next comment, is I'm
And
definitely
I'm
interested,
out of
but she's out of town.
on June 7th. Now, you guys, depending on how heavy, you could cancel this if you have enough that wants to, you guys need to make that
that's-
decision.
Yeah.
But that is our meeting date.
If you're interested in going, let me know. Yeah, we can definitely have that conversation.
So we could go for a portion of it?
Yeah, so you can do a 1 or 2 day registration or a full conference registration.
Okay.
So I guess each one of you should,
I'm sorry?
I guess you guys get with Kyle, because
By
Definitely.
Friday.
I'm definitely interested in pursuing this and being involved. It's kind of a situation, since you're going to be out of town.
Yeah.
We just need to discuss,
but
since
if
I'm
you
vice
counsel, if
chair.
enough of you want to go and you counsel the 7th, which,
Is allowed?
yeah, that's allowed.
So I have a demolition application coming through to be heard on the 7th.
Okay.
Just a heads up on that.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, if we get enough interested people in going, if we're not able to have a quorum, yeah, we can make adjustments. So
And we could, like, if we don't have a quorum, sometimes, like, maybe the next week, there would be an empty day, and we could have a
yeah, we could call it a special meeting for
special
demolition.
meeting to just discuss, basically one thing.
Yeah.
There's ways that we can take care of it if there's enough of you. Because training and learning is very important.
I would definitely be interested in going.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think part of that conversation needs to be HDC money that has been set aside for education and training. Is this something that we're interested in financing with that money, or do we want to use that for Arkansas-specific training?
When's our next one here in Arkansas?
I would have to check on that.
Because the only thing I would say, Arkansas over Missouri, as Peter and Kyle noticed, and Kyle brought this up to me, as your 3 speakers at Fort Smith also talked about Arkansas law and so forth, which they always do. They'll tell you about Arkansas, where Missouri might not. That's, they
Is
don't.
that part of the agenda?
One of their
Yeah.
agenda items is preservation law, and I'm sure it's going to be Missouri-specific, yeah.
But I'm sure Ramona was your attorney that talked. I'm sure she always brings in a lot of Arkansas law. I mean,
And to be honest, it's actually almost more beneficial for a lawyer to be coming from out of state because since they're not licensed in state,
Yeah.
they are actually able to discuss state guidelines as if they weren't practicing in the state. So she was able to reference things based off of not giving us advice, but from an outsider point
and
of
that's
view.
what I've noticed in all the trainings that I've gone to. They always study Arkansas law to help us because it's stuff that we don't
That was something else I
deal
didn't.
with daily, but it's nice to have that background to hear.
That was something else I didn't talk about with camp down in Fort Smith is a lot of communities like Hot Springs and Little Rock say that they have been using the Eureka Springs Historic District Guideline Book as a guidance for their town. So props to our community for putting this together because, you know, it's being used throughout the state, which I think is a very positive thing.
And Jackie's coming the 21st?
Yeah.
No, July.
Oh, sorry, yes, the second meeting in July.
Yeah, okay.
That's when the team.
Yeah, so we'll have a team building. I don't know if it's going to be a workshop or a training or what we're going to call it quite yet. But yeah, she's committed to that second meeting in July to do a workshop with us.
I'll try. I don't know if I'll be.
Do we
Maybe we'll
need
come to where
move?
you are.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You come over to me.
Except we have to have it recorded.
No.
Well,
So that's one thing that came up with Ian at the state office. That's kind of where we're trying to define it because HDC commissioners are allowed to do training sessions and they do not have to be open to the public. So we're trying to figure out how to arrange that so it can just be a training session for us. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because like our camps, they're just for us, and we
Yeah.
can really talk, but we're talking with everybody from the state, and then our speakers are usually from out of state.
Yeah, and we won't be discussing commission business
No.
or anything like that.
Just in
So,
general.
Yeah. So yeah, once I figure out how to define it, but that's my goal. So
Well, and maybe, because after your surgery, but the next week you might know if you're even going to be able to, and maybe, since Jackie's local, maybe we can move it around.
yeah, I think we've got enough time to make some
Because I
adjustments.
would really think we could all benefit from being at this team building. Okay. Are we doing the the masonry workshop still on the 21st
Of this month?
of June?
Oh.
Will you
can.
check that out and see when we're,
Okay.
I think we vaguely said that once, maybe the meeting you were
Oh, okay.
absent.
For June 21st?
Well,
I'd highly recommend anyone who can attend that to go to it. The last one upstairs in the auditorium was very beneficial. I know at least 3 or 4 of the licensed masonry workers were there and were answering questions, and it was just providing a space for them to share their experience with the stonework throughout
was
Eureka
great.
Springs. Yep, I think it was very beneficial.
so again, if everybody can be there, otherwise I'd like to keep it flexible so we can all be there.
Yeah, I'm not going to be there on the 21st of June.
Okay, so 21st is out.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
No, that's okay, that's what
Yeah.
we need to know.
Yeah,
We
can
need to,
plan ahead, yeah.
yeah. we just-
Sorry, did we have anything else we wanted to say about that? I've got one more.
Nope, go
one more
ahead.
thing. Okay. Something that kind of got glossed over from the last legislative session, Act 650 increases the amount of the Arkansas Historic rehabilitation tax credit and creates a tiered system to incentivize investment in smaller communities. So previously, the state had given up to 25% in tax credits for preservation projects. This bill increases that to 40% in cities with populations less than 10,000. So I think that's very beneficial for Eureka Springs, and I think that's something that we should educate our citizens on, that they could benefit from that.
You said this is a tax write-off, or is it grants? How is it formed, and do they have to apply to
So
it?
it's a tax credit. It takes paperwork, planning ahead of time, but the cost of your project, up to 40% of that, you get as a tax credit, and you can either use that for yourself. Another option is people can sell those.
We could have, Jackie's pretty knowledgeable on that, too.
That'd be great, yeah.
Anybody that you knows, let's just take a house, somebody, gonna redo this house. They really need to take pictures, they need to really stop, and they need to get everything figured out. There is a lady, I think, she, Little Rock, or I think Fayetteville, that will come and help you with the applications and walk you through and everything. She does charge, but to get the grant and all, she's well worth it. And Jackie Woven from Main Street has worked with her. We have had her as Main Street come in and speak to homeowners, the realtors here. It is an excellent thing. Jack Moyer has used it on Pine Street. He used it. I think he's used it one other time.
Is it for exterior only or interior?
I don't think it is exterior only.
No, I don't think so either. I think it's
So
like,
if we have friends that are just purchasing a house on Spring Street and need very much to do that, can
Yes.
I refer them to you?
Yeah, send them to
Yeah.
me. So it's the state that actually operates it, but I can
You
get them
can at
set
least
up to
put them in touch
start.
with them, right? Well, they live in Fayetteville, so it might be that they already know about this.
Oh, okay. Planning ahead is good because it is a process.
it's a big process, and definitely,
Could you give us a length of time usually? Is it a 6-month process or a 2-month process?
at least 6 months.
Yeah, depending on how large your project
Yeah.
is. Some people have them over the course of several years. So, yeah, there's a couple of different options on that.
And there's a state level too, but federal. The state level, you can resell these. Arkansas, it's great. It really is. If they can fit it in and use it, it is excellent. And I know Kyle can work with Jackie, and the two of them can get everybody. And
Why wouldn't you use
yeah,
that?
exactly.
Is it preservation and restoration only?
This includes commercial?
Yes. Commercial, yes.
And residential?
Yes.
And
yes.
residential, yes.
It's an excellent thing. We have had very few people use it in town. I know Glenna used to tell people about it and so forth, but I think they're overwhelmed at first, but that's why this lady could really help people.
Okay.
And I can't think of her name right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Thank
think
you.
I have her information in my
Yeah.
office, yeah.
I think she's come and spoke a couple of times we've invited the whole public, the realtors and all over the years. She's come a couple of times and spoke.
Excellent.
A couple of other things that came out in the legislative session that are preservation focused. Act 651 extends the deadline to apply for the Arkansas Major Historic Rehabilitation Tax Credit from June 30th, 2025 to June 30th, 2030. And this credit is for projects with at least 1.5 million in qualified expenses. And then Act 561 provides $40 million for the Arkansas Major Historic Rehabilitation Trust Fund, which is administered by the Division of Arkansas Heritage, to fund credits awarded through the Arkansas Major Historic Rehabilitation Tax Credit Program. And so the state has offered a lot of money for preservation projects, which, I think even if we wanted to do like an educational workshop on this. Last year we did, Preserve Arkansas came in and did a dollars and cents that talked about it, but these changes are a little bit different even from that, so.
Could I ask you one question, not in relation to this, but similar, because the $40 million just brought into my head about the grant that we applied for through the federal government for the new hospital construction. Is that something that we can get an update on for an upcoming meeting, just to see how that's going? Because I knew they wasn't the deadline March for that?
So I don't know the status of all of that for the hospital, but with them not restoring the existing hospital, it wouldn't qualify for LAB.
No, definitely not
And they're
restoration.
applying for some federal aids and
Yep,
assistance.
44 million, I think, is what they're applying for for a new construction of a new hospital. That's what I was wondering about the update on.
Yeah, I haven't heard any updates on
Okay,
that.
thanks.
Yeah,
Any other?
that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle, for everything.
Excellent to
Great.
find that out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Adjournment, please.
I so move to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
Judy made the motion, Peter seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. 4-0. We're adjourned.